Making money is hard, and in today's economy, it's probably even harder to keep the money that you've made than to make it in the first place. My name is Dan Morrison. I'm in the McIntyre School of Commerce, concentrating my studies on finance and information technology. This semester, under the tutelage of Professor Stefano Grazioli, I am building a portfolio hedger called the Spartan Trader. Basically, it is a hedger that automatically insures a portfolio by buying and selling securities that insure it against risk. Why bother building a hedger? Well, the most basic way to invest is to buy a batch of stocks. The stocks go up, then you win. Let's say the batch of stocks falls in value, then you lose, and you're probably trying to avoid your loan shark. Hedging your portfolio is when you limit the downside of an investment like this. Think of it this way. If you're in a bowling alley and you bowl in one frame, you have the potential of bowling it in the gutter and not being able to score anything in that frame. On the other hand, let's say that every frame after that you have the opportunity to pay a little bit of money to put the bumpers on the lane, and that will keep you from bowling any gutter balls. Now let's say that you have that option over the course of every frame for the rest of the game, or every frame for the night, or every frame for the rest of your life. You could see that you could probably create an algorithm that would determine when it was most beneficial to pay the extra little bit of money to put on the bumpers, or when it might not be beneficial. In the same light, you can calculate mathematically when to hedge a portfolio. Most people do this type of activity through futures contracts, options, and derivatives. While many of us finance students know the theory behind these instruments, putting them into practice in a real-life scenario is something entirely different.
How can I take these tools that I've learned and that the technology makes available to me and apply to real-world problem, and understanding that there is a distance or a gap between what's theoretically perfect and what's practically feasible.
So how does my Spartan Trader work? It's built using Microsoft Visual Studio, Excel, and SQL, which queries databases. And in a simulated environment, I can select and trade stocks and options, I can preview transaction data, I can look at the financial markets and various other sorts of necessities that you would need to navigate a financial market. So by writing programs that automatically buy and sell certain quantities of securities, you can automate a system that ordinarily would take a huge amount of due diligence. At the end of each year, each person that builds a hedger puts it to the test by being given a multi-million-dollar portfolio of stocks and is charged with guarding that portfolio's value. So with plenty of blood, sweat, and I'll admit a couple of tears, I'm really looking forward to putting the finishing touches on my Spartan Trader and testing it out in the McIntyre Hedge Tournament.